Kimberly Noel Kardashian was born on October 21st, 1980, in Los Angeles, California, into a family that seemed destined for the spotlight. The daughter of Robert Kardashian, a prominent attorney, and Kris Jenner, a savvy homemaker with big ambitions, Kim grew up in the glitzy orbit of Beverly Hills. Her childhood was comfortable, filled with private schools and celebrity neighbors, but it wasn't without its cracks. Her parents' divorce when she was 9 left Kim navigating a blended family, with Kris remarrying Olympic champion Bruce Jenner, later Caitlyn. Kim, the second of 4 siblings, Kourtney, Khloe, and Rob, learned early how to stand out in a crowded household. She was charming, ambitious, and had a knack for turning heads, even if her early dreams were modest. In her teens, Kim was already dipping her toes into the world of fame. She worked as a stylist and personal shopper for friends like Paris Hilton, a socialite whose party girl persona dominated the early 2000s. Kim was often seen trailing Paris, organizing her closet or appearing in the background of paparazzi shots. But Kim wasn't content to stay in the shadows. Her hustle was relentless. She ran a small business reselling designer clothes on eBay, learning the art of branding before she even had a platform. Her close-knit Armenian family kept her grounded, but Kim craved more than a supporting role in someone else's story. The turning point came in 2007, when a private sex tape featuring Kim and her then-boyfriend, singer Ray J, leaked to the public. The scandal could have destroyed her. Instead, Kim, guided by Kris's strategic mind, turned it into a launch pad. The tape, released by Vivid Entertainment, made Kim a household name overnight. Critics called it a low blow, but Kim didn't flinch. She sued, settled for a reported $5 million, and used the attention to pivot. That same year, greenlit Keeping Up with the Kardashians, a reality show centered on the Kardashian-Jenner clan. Kim, with her striking looks and unfiltered personality, quickly became the breakout star. The show was a hit, pulling viewers into the family's chaotic, glamorous world. Kim's early fame wasn't without growing pains. She faced relentless scrutiny, mocked as famous for being famous, a phrase that stung but didn't stop her. She leaned into the attention, mastering the art of the selfie and building a MySpace following that hinted at her future social media dominance. By 2010, Kim was no longer Paris's sidekick. She was a brand. She launched fragrances, endorsed products, and graced magazine covers. Her curves, Armenian heritage, and unapologetic ambition made her a new kind of celebrity, one who didn't need a traditional talent to command the spotlight. Kim Kardashian was no accident. She was a force, built from scandal, strategy, and sheer will. By 2010, Kim Kardashian was a pop culture juggernaut. Keeping Up with the Kardashians had turned her family into reality TV royalty, and Kim was its undisputed queen. But fame came with a price. Part 2 of her story dives into Kim's tumultuous romantic life, her first taste of major public backlash, and her relentless drive to build an empire, all while the world watched her every move. Kim's love life was catnip for tabloids. After the Ray J scandal, she dated a string of high-profile men. NFL star Reggie Bush, basketball player Miles Austin, but none captured the public's imagination like her 2011 marriage to NBA player Kris Humphries. The romance was a whirlwind, documented on Keeping Up with over-the-top flair. Kim, then 30, seemed smitten, and the televised wedding special drew millions of viewers. The fairy tale, however, lasted just 72 days. Kim filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences, and the backlash was brutal. Critics called the marriage a publicity stunt, accusing Kim of faking it for ratings. She was labeled a fame-hungry opportunist, and the public's fascination turned to scorn. Kim, usually unflappable, admitted the criticism hurt. "I loved him, but I wasn't ready," she said in a rare moment of vulnerability on the show. The Humphries debacle didn't slow Kim down, it fueled her. She doubled down on her career, launching the Kardashian Collection clothing line with sisters Kourtney and Khloe, a venture that brought in millions. She also leaned into her growing social media presence, mastering Twitter and Instagram when they were still new. Kim understood something her critics didn't. In the digital age, attention was currency. Her posts, whether a bikini selfie or a family photo, drove engagement, turning followers into dollars. By 2013, She was earning up to $10,000 per sponsored post, a figure that would skyrocket in years to come. Amid the chaos, Kim found love again with Kanye West, a rapper and producer she'd known for years. Their romance, which began in 2012, was a game-changer. Kanye, a creative genius with a polarizing persona, saw Kim as his muse. He revamped her wardrobe, pushing her toward high fashion, and the couple, dubbed Kimmy, became a cultural phenomenon. Their 2014 wedding in Italy was a spectacle, complete with a Versace gown and a performance by Andrea Bocelli. Kim, now a mother to daughter North, born in 2013, seemed to have it all. But the cracks were already forming. Kanye's unpredictable behavior and Kim's relentless ambition would soon test their bond, setting the stage for a new chapter of drama and triumph. Kim Kardashian's life in the mid-2010s was a high-wire act of fame, family, and fortune. With Keeping Up with the Kardashians still dominating reality TV, Kim was no longer just a star. She was a mogul in the making. Part 3 of her story explores her transformation into a business titan, the challenges of motherhood, and a traumatic event that forced her to rethink her public persona. Kim's business acumen came into sharp focus with the 2014 launch of Kim Kardashian Hollywood, a mobile game that let players live out a virtual celebrity life. Critics rolled their eyes, but the game was a smash, earning $200 million in its first year. Kim, who had a hand in its design, proved she could monetize her image in ways others hadn't dreamed of. She followed it with KKW Beauty in 2017, a makeup line that capitalized on her contouring fame. The brand's first product, a contour kit, sold out in minutes, generating $14 million in sales. Kim's ability to turn her personal brand into a business empire was unmatched, and she was just getting started. Motherhood added new layers to Kim's life. After North, she and Kanye welcomed son Saint in 2015, followed by daughter Chicago and son Psalm via surrogate in 2018 and 2019. Balancing her career with parenting wasn't easy, especially under the microscope of fame. Kim was candid about her struggles, from fertility issues to the pressures of co-parenting with Kanye, whose mental health challenges began to surface publicly. Yet, she remained a devoted mom, sharing glimpses of her kids on Instagram while shielding them from the worst of the spotlight. In October 2016, Kim faced a life-altering ordeal. During Paris Fashion Week, she was robbed at gunpoint in her hotel room, bound, and held while thieves stole millions in jewelry, including her engagement ring. The trauma shook her to her core. Kim, usually an open book, went silent on social media for months, reevaluating her life. The incident sparked a shift. She began prioritizing privacy and security, even as she returned to the public eye stronger than ever. By 2017, she was back, launching KKW Fragrance and teasing a new venture, Schemes, a shapewear line that would redefine her legacy. Kim was no longer just riding the wave of fame. She was shaping it, proving she could turn even her darkest moments into fuel for growth. By the late 2010s, Kim Kardashian was a global icon, her name synonymous with fame itself. Part 4 of her story dives into the launch of Schemes, her navigation of Kanye West's unraveling, and her cementing as a cultural force who could spark trends and controversies with a single post. Schemes, launched in 2019, was Kim's boldest business move yet. Originally called Kimono, the brand faced backlash for cultural appropriation, prompting a swift rebrand to Schemes. Kim learned fast, turning the controversy into a lesson in adaptability. The shapewear line, designed for all body types, was a hit, offering inclusive sizing and colors that resonated with diverse consumers. By 2021, Schemes was valued at $1.6 billion, with Kim as its creative visionary. She starred in campaigns, modeled the product herself, and used her social media prowess, over 250 million Instagram followers, to drive sales. Schemes wasn't just a brand. It was a statement about body positivity and accessibility, cementing Kim's status as a business genius. Her personal life, however, was a storm. Kanye West's mental health struggles and public outbursts, including his 2020 presidential run, strained their marriage. Kim stood by him for years, but by 2021, she filed for divorce. The split was messy, Kanye's social media rants contrasted with Kim's calculated silence, but she handled it with grace, focusing on their children and her career. The divorce didn't dim her shine, it amplified her resilience. Kim's brief fling with Pete Davidson in 2021, sparked by a Saturday Night Live hosting gig, was a media frenzy, proving she could still dominate headlines with a single date. Kim Kardashian had long been a polarizing figure, a woman whose every move sparked debates about fame, privilege, and authenticity. By the late 2010s, she had already conquered reality TV, social media, and the fashion world with her shapewear brand schemes, valued at over $1 billion by 2021. But Kim wasn't content to rest on her laurels. She wanted to redefine herself, to shift the narrative from tabloid queen to a force for change. Part 5 of her story explores Kim's unexpected pivot into criminal justice reform, her personal evolution, and her unyielding grip on pop culture in an era when her influence seemed unbreakable. In 2018, Kim stunned the world by stepping into the arena of criminal justice reform. It began with a tweet, a medium where she wielded unmatched power. She learned about Alice Marie Johnson, a 63-year-old grandmother serving a life sentence without parole for a nonviolent drug offense. Moved by Johnson's story, Kim used her platform to amplify the case, contacting lawyers and advocating directly to the White House. Her meeting with then-President Donald Trump in the Oval Office was surreal to many, a reality star discussing prison reform with the leader of the free world. Critics scoffed, calling it a publicity stunt, but Kim's efforts paid off. Johnson was granted clemency in June 2018, a moment that marked a turning point for Kim's public image. She wasn't just a celebrity. She was a woman who could move mountains with her influence. This wasn't a one-off. Kim doubled down, enrolling in a 4-year law apprenticeship program in California to become a lawyer. The decision raised eyebrows. The woman once known for a sex tape and selfies was now reading law books and shadowing attorneys? Skeptics mocked her, but Kim was undeterred. She studied for the baby bar, a rigorous exam for non-traditional law students, passing it in 2021 after multiple attempts. Her focus was clear, reforming a broken justice system. She partnered with organizations like the Innocence Project and worked on cases like that of Julius Jones, whose death sentence was commuted in 2021, partly due to her advocacy. Kim's legal journey wasn't just about optics. It was personal. She spoke of her father, Robert Kardashian, a lawyer who worked on the O.J. Simpson case, as her inspiration. "I want to make him proud," she said in interviews, her voice steady with conviction. Yet, Kim's reinvention didn't erase the drama that defined her. Her divorce from Kanye West, finalized in 2022, was a media circus. The couple's public unraveling, marked by Kanye's erratic behavior and Kim's measured silence, kept tabloids buzzing. Kim navigated co-parenting their 4 children, North, St., Chicago, and Psalm, while facing scrutiny over her every move. Her brief romance with comedian Pete Davidson in 2021 sparked endless headlines, from their Saturday Night Live kiss to tattoos and public PDA. Fans loved the chaos, but Kim's focus remained on her empire. Schemes expanded into swimwear and loungewear, cementing her as a business mogul. By 2025, her net worth hovered around $1.8 billion, a testament to her hustle. Kim's cultural impact was undeniable. She shaped beauty standards, popularized shapewear, and turned social media into an art form. Her Met Gala appearances, like the 2022 Marilyn Monroe dress controversy, sparked debates about fashion and privilege. Yet, she remained a master of reinvention, balancing glamour with grit. Whether advocating for the incarcerated or launching a new schemes campaign, Kim stayed in the spotlight, proving she was more than a moment. She was a movement.